Yo, single arrow would be so good. I've only had that once.
The seed will be bootless until boots.
My favorite message. Alright. We get synced up here. And bombs. Not bad.
No, not at all. It means neither one of these guys is going to have to farm, so they should be able to turbo through the escape here. So a lot of times, even in version 18, you've got to farm for a bomb just so you can get into the extra room in the sewers. Neither of these guys will have to do that this time.
Yeah, just having 3 to start off with is really good. They may want to farm just a little bit, but they don't have to go out of their way.
As Chad pointed out, Dark Magician left the bombs there. I will never... We will never forget... Oh my god, more bombs. The Dark Magician planned this seed out. I will never forget Dark Magician's bombing reign of terror throughout the country of Hyrule.
Rip Hyrule, Dark Magician. Totally destroyed everything that run. That's great. Yeah, from now on, if you just get tons of bombs, just confirmed Dark Magician seed.
That's right. That'll be... It is now officially a meme. So let it be written. So let it be done.
So yeah, 2 bomb chests here and an 8-drop for PHatHome666. He's already maxed out on bombs. He's good to go. Parisian player still has a good amount. He's good to go for part of the beginning. And next chest is Power Glove.
It's so bad.
That is pretty interesting to get in escape.
So will our runners decide to, instead of going straight to Kakariko Village, will they decide to make the trip around Death Mountain because Death Mountain will be opened up? Might not be the highest percentage play, but it is one of those gambles that you might want to take, considering that both players tonight are fighting for their tournament lives. So they may be more prone to take risks that they might not otherwise take. Parisian player making it down to the basement earlier, or before. Did you say, is it PHatHome666 or?
Yes.
Okay. We'll just call him Homie from here on out. Zelda's got a key. Now, how in the world is she sitting back there with a key in the chest behind a locked door? She could have picked the lock with that. Come on.
I mean, easily. Just jam it in there. It's all good.
Oh.
PHatHome666 all low and hooked out. There he goes. Yeah, that's very good call there. You don't want to go into any of these rooms with half a heart.
Yeah. The dreaded green male. Both of these guys look like they'll be making pretty good time in the standard no major glitches run of the vanilla version of the game. A good time out of the escape is under 6 minutes, and looks like these guys will be pretty close to that.
Oh, there we go. Both players now maxed out on bombs. 8 bomb drops.
So the first, we do have the, as I was mentioning before, we do have the possibility of a route diversion because both players have picked up the Power Glove, and it is possible that one of them may decide to head on up to Death Mountain. The usual route, though, is out to Kakariko Village because of the sheer number of chests that are available in Kakariko Village.
Oh, yeah.
Now, one thing that our players might have a slight problem with is we've got a kind of low rupee count here. Normally when you get to Kakariko Village, you want to hit up Bottle Merchant on the way, but that requires 100 rupees.
Yeah. And he gets a red rupee in the last chest there, so they have 3 more to check. Parisian up to 40. Ideally, you want to have at least 100, so you can buy from the bottle merchant, and there you can worry about Zora rupees.
And sometimes the seed will kind of point you towards that. For example, we played a seed earlier today where there were 2 300 rupee chests in Kakariko Village. Sort of like the seed is kind of pushing you towards, hey, maybe you might want to consider heading out to Zora.
Yeah. So they get an early bottle here, so that's good. Before Kakariko, they can check Sick Kid, get an item from him. Sometimes it's always a nuisance. You have to wait a little bit till you get a bottle. Remember, you have to go back and check Sick Kid.
And it's sometimes little things like that that can make the difference. Particularly if one of those chests that you forgot about contains a progression item.
Okay, and we do have Tear's chest coming up here. Let's see.
That is officially a meme now as well. I had to tell Tara earlier today, the only reason that it's funny is because everyone knows how good you are at this game. Because it wouldn't be funny if it was some scrub that forgot to do it, right? But it's the fact that you got a really good player that forgot to do it is the reason it's funny.
Going for the tree pole. And more bombs! Dark Magician seed confirmed.
Dark Magician, where are you? Who distributed this seed? Was that Fiesel? I don't think so.
32 bombs right there you can get from that tree. And oh no!
Aghanim definitely required the Moon Pearl sitting on Lumberjack Cave.
Why, of all things, it had to be the moon? Now, yeah, I go one required. This is Fat Homie.
So our players will certainly be looking for either the Magic Cape or the Sword upgrade, and then heading out to Aghanim's castle.
Yeah.
Parisian saying, I'm maxed out on bombs. Do I need more bombs? Dark Magician, darn you.
Then a +5 bomb max. Yeah, this is. Yeah. Skip the animation. No reason to get it. Just keep going. And Fat Homie, why did
It looked like Homie tried to walk around it and still hit the collision detection.
Alright, let's see what Thieves' Basement here. So it'll pay off with more items.
Where all of these bombs they've collected will begin to come to good use.
Yeah.
We got 10 arrows. We got silvers.
Oh, wow.
2 hams. And extra 5 arrows.
So right out the gate, silvers. Already guaranteeing a swift Ganon fight. And we get a magic shield.
Yeah, Magic Shield being another one of those underrated items that people don't, it's one of those things you don't think about, but the fact that it can deflect fireballs can come in handy in so many different places. Looks like neither one of our runners is going to have any problem getting up the 100 rupees that they need for Bottle Merchant either.
No, not at all. We have Fat Homie almost at 100 here, so it's version. And there you go. So we'll have enough in this cave. So having silvers early also opens up. With the mirror! It also opens up just a lot of easier fights too with bosses.
Oh, without a doubt.
So it's going to speed things along.
Yeah, Helmaser King will fall to a single silver arrow once his mask is off. Landmala's one each. Vitreous dies to 2. Silver arrows make it really, really quick.
Yeah. So, Persian just went to the Bottle Merchant really quickly. I missed it. We're going to see Fat Homie. And it's a 10 arrow.
Yeah.
And Parisian player with the bow.
All right. Well, we have no idea whether or not Eastern Palace is required at this point, but obviously that item allows you to complete, and we have Das Boot at the Sick Kid.
Wow.
For being an Aghanim required seed, this is starting off.
This is
really fast.
good start.
These guys will be able to see what was left on top of the shelves at the library. The librarian is not doing his or her job tonight. Titan's mitts, my God!
So remember that power glove they just got a minute ago? It means nothing because they didn't even get to use it. They've already got the Titans mitt. Wow!
Completely obsolete.
Oh boy!
I was waiting for the hammer to be at the race game or something like that, but all right, just a heart.
What are those indeed? So, really, really good items to start off with, especially with the bow. You know, right at the start of the game, if Eastern's going to be a crystal dungeon, we can already knock that out. And then Titan's Mitt, we get a book. If we have to do Desert Palace, we can knock that out. Death Mountain's an area we can go ahead and check now, which looks like PHatHome might be opting to do some other stuff before he heads down to Lake Hylia.
King's Tomb.
Yeah, he's gonna check that now.
This is interesting routing from Homie, as Parisian is in Lake Hylia Cave, gets the bloomerang. Okay, he just got the bow in Lake Hylia Hype Cave, so we must have missed something about the bow earlier.
We did.
I was curious about that because I missed. I was like, okay, I must have been looking at the wrong. I must have been looking at the wrong screen, but okay. I think the chat may have trolled us there. We got to stop watching the chat. I love you guys, but I hate you guys sometimes.
Ice Rod Cave with the red ruby going out of the way there. So I wonder if he's going to fake flipper and check Robo now. Yep, Parisian player's going to go ahead and do that. Probably going to go ahead and check the island too. And then PHatHome is going to now head down to Lake Hylia area and check down there.
Now, I don't believe Parisian checked the dam here. Unless I'm just getting old and senile.
No, he did not make his way to the dam.
Lantern!
Lamp! Oh my goodness! That is the second time I've seen it on that island.
So really right now, if you're running this seed, and also after having seen the lamp there, you're probably thinking, all right, as soon as I can, I'm going to be making a beeline to Aghanim. Because even though I'm sure that our runners are capable of doing dark rooms. Okay, first look, we have crystals 5 and 6 in Desert and Eastern Palace, and a crystal in Tower of Hera.
Wow, so all Light World Dungeons crystals. That is really good.
And that means 3 Dark World Dungeons potentially not even required. And that could seriously cut down on the timing in this seed, particularly if those dungeons are, say, Turtle Rock, Ice Palace, and Misery Mire.
Right. So Parisian's going to head straight into Eastern and knock that out. Since that is a crystal dungeon. That is really good. Oh, we have a blue red ruby and a heart piece behind Soul Shroud.
So not only are they getting items very quickly here,
a lot of bottles so far too, yeah.
Yeah, blue goose, a nice safety. Parisian is opting not to use the silver arrows. Might just be an oversight on his part.
Possibly. Getting silver arrows this early, it's easy to forget that you would have them.
Because, and the other thing is that it does not automatically switch you over to silver arrows.
No, yeah. You have to do it yourself.
Yeah. More bottles!
Wow! Lots of bottles! And I believe that was another fairy one, too.
It was. So safety's out the wazoo. My assumption then would be that red mail would be like in the pedestal or, you know, in a pendant dungeon.
Yeah.
There has to be, every seed has a troll somewhere. The only question is, where is it? I see we had somebody in the chat asking silvers are slight lag. I thought, yeah, they do slightly lag, but when they can kill pretty much everything with one shot, sometimes you're willing to put up with that little bit of lag.
Right.
Parisian, it is so much better to run through Eastern Palace with the boots because you have to keep walking in circles. The path is a spiral through that dungeon, and having the boots is a godsend.
So Fat Homie is going to go check desert area, which Parisian did not do. He decided to go straight into Eastern as soon as he was able, he collected the bow.
Now this is interesting because Parisian has decided to clear a dungeon that he can clear. Homie, on the other hand, is over by Desert Palace, and he doesn't have a fire source, so he can't complete it.
Mm.
So this, I mean, it could turn out well. The fire source, the fire rod, we know where one fire source is, and Homie can't get it right now. But the fire rod is still at large, so it's possible it could be in Eastern or on the ledge. And it's not on the ledge. That's just a bomb upgrade. Parisian on the last third of Eastern Palace, heading into the rupee room, probably because he's probably trying to farm some rupees for Zora.
Which is not a bad idea to start thinking about that now. Both of them haven't gotten a ton of big rupee chests, and they already spent 100 on the bottle merchant, which pretty much had nothing.
That was the most expensive 10 arrows in the game.
Yes, it was.
All right, so Homie with the small key, so he'll be able to access the right side of Eastern Palace and also be able to find out if this gamble of his has paid off. It's entirely possible his calculus was, I'll wait until Dark World and knock out Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness all in one fell swoop. Fat Homie finding the lag meringue, or the red meringue, or the blood meringue.
Armos Knight's dropped the Master Sword.
Well, I can almost guarantee then the Parisian is probably headed straight to Aghanim at this point.
I would imagine so. That would give him access to the Dark World. He can start doing some stuff. So yeah, that would be a good call. Either that, or he could check Death Mountain before then, but I would go right for the Moon Pearl. That way you can check both Light and Dark World at the same time. I
agree, but looks like he's going to go ahead and... Yeah, he's hitting Aghanim. Fat Home is heading out to Eastern Palace. So, Parisian heading into Aghanim's Tower, the only dungeon of the game where you are guaranteed not to find any items. There will only be chests in Aghanim's Tower, and they will only contain small keys.
Yeah, Parisian did get silvers, but he has not switched over to them yet. So, yeah, it does show on the tracker that he did get the silvers, but he's running the regular arrows, unless he either just doesn't want to deal with the lag of silver arrows. But again, like you said earlier, they're pretty powerful. Pretty much one-shots a lot of enemies, so we'll see. Hopefully he remembers that he does have them.
Well, it's easy to forget, too.
Yeah, because he picked it up super early in 2 Space.
Because a lot of times when you're playing and you're in the zone, and particularly that they found silvers early on while they were going through Kakariko Village, so you're just opening chest after chest after chest, and then that silver arrow looks a whole lot like an arrow upgrade, and maybe your brain just doesn't catch it. That happened to me one time where I picked up the flute, thought I had just picked up 3 bombs, so ran around the game for about 45 minutes looking for the flute, then went to my item menu and hit Y on the shovel. Parisian just running roughshod over Aghanim's Tower here. There's so many rooms that you can skip having to kill enemies in.
Yeah, he is flying through this tower right now, as PHatHome is... Oh, nice. Uses the arrow strat there against the Stalfos.
That's really impressive.
That was really cool. Yeah, I've actually never seen that method before. Instead of using the pot, you use the arrows. And he had silver, so, well, I think they would have one-shot the enemies for very once.
So, Aghanim has just said bye, Felicia, to Zelda, so... That should be 6 quick reflections, and Parisian will be in the Dark World. Wonder what the pyramid item is going to be. The way this seed is going, I wouldn't be surprised if the pyramid item was the hook shot.
That would be interesting, yeah. I don't find the hook shot in the pyramid too often.
That's 5. This should be 6 right here. Boom.
Good amount of heart pieces also as well in this seed so far.
And now's the time where we envy the chat because they get to listen to the awesome bunny music. The flute!
Oh my god! The flute! On the pyramid! Insane.
You know, you want to go ahead and just declare this to be a free seed, but on the other hand, there are still a couple items that could really troll us.
Yeah, this is true, but as far as just traveling and convenience, I mean, they've got boots early, and now we have our flute. Very good item pickup too.
It's when the items start coming this fast and this furious that you start thinking, okay, Misery Mire is going to be a required dungeon, but it'll be a crystal dungeon, but its medallion will be on the pedestal. But they've already found the book, never mind, because I have played a pedestal required seed where you never got the book.
Oh, that was close. And another sword there. Oh yeah, it's from PHatHome there. So, yeah, Parisian player is gonna head straight into. Wait, did he get his move pro? I don't think he did yet. No, he didn't. He's gonna get his swag back first.
Yes. Please rise for the playing of the Hyrulean National Anthem. For he is the Swaggy Duck. And Homie looks like he is finally going to head out to Aghanim's tower.
Yep, he got his Master Sword, which now allows him to head straight into Aghanim. And now Parisian's gonna go get his. So with the Moon Pearl being in the Lumberjack tree actually does mean that the boots have to be kind of somewhat early in the run here, because you do need it to bonk this tree with the boots. So it's very fortunate that they were able to still get that.
So our runners now can, let's see, they can clear Tower of Hera, which is a, well, it looks like that's exactly what Parisian player is about to do.
Yep, he's heading up there now. The only thing is he doesn't have a light source, so if there's anything in the basement, he'll have to make a trip back.
That's a gamble that I think a lot of runners are willing to make.
Absolutely.
However, we have seen in the tournament that that Tower of Hera basement has been very important. There might have been a run where the Ice Rod was in the Tower of Hera basement, and Turtle Rock was a required dungeon.
Oh, the hammer from the old man. Nice pickup, especially here on Death Mountain without having the hook shot. That just gave Parisian player the access to the right side. That is solid. And
because he has the Titan's mitts, he has access to the right side of Death Mountain in both Light and Dark World. We're talking, what is that, 13 chests in total?
A ton of chests. So very, very awesome and convenient place to pick up the hammer right there. I mean, that could have been the hammer or the hook shot and it would have been have access, but the hammer also gives them not only access to the rest of Death Mountain, but a lot of other stuff. And Parisian player making the play to check Spike Cape right now.
That is a very interesting play. He has multiple safeties. He has 2 fairies and a blue potion, so he's going to go ahead and use those up right here. He's probably going to need to use all of them.
Yeah, he's going to end up using every fairy and taking advantage of the iframes there with the fairy.
Oh my god! Oh, that's right. He has 1 fairy. He has 1 fairy left.
So close, but instead of that extra fairy.
And it does not pay off.
Does not pay off, but he did get that out of the way, so now he doesn't have to worry about potentially Spike Cave holding him over.
Oh, I missed the map there, but let me go ahead and shout out our tracker Number Play, who's been doing a fantastic job. I'm sure he's gonna fill in. All right, so Pod is a pendant dungeon. Skull Woods is the green pendant, and Misery Mire is a pendant dungeon. So no such luck getting rid of Ice Palace or Turtle Rock. But
so Pod, Skull, and Mire are pendants.
So we're not even 30 minutes in yet, and our players have silvers, our players have the Moon Pearl, the Mirror, and Dark World Hype Cave has bombos.
Bombos, mushroom, and some arrows. Not bad.
No, not at all.
Hopefully bombos will be the way into Turtle Rock. And there we go, another look at it.
Again, shout-outs to Number Play. Parisian player only had that map up there for a split second, but he caught all of it. So shout-outs to our tracker, without whom our commentary would be 20% worse.
Agreed. Oh! Player taking the death, and with him spinning his 2 fairies on Spike Cave, yeah, that is a game over, but that's okay. We'll have to just make his way down there, probably by flying down. So Fat Homie getting his swag duck. It's gonna have.
It is the swaggy duck.
Can't be here and do the in the song.
So as we've just gone over 30 minutes here, I'd like to remind everyone in the stream, follow these runners, Homie666 and Parisian Player. They are doing a great job providing us with what we hope will be around 2 hours of an exciting race tonight. But the way this seed is going, it might be significantly less than 2 hours. Of course, now that I've said that, pedestal required. And
well, we're getting a pedestal check now. Let's go.
Pedestal herp. Now you're a red elf. Womp womp womp.
That is unfortunate. Sorry, chat. No pedestal hype tonight.
No. But that doesn't mean a key item can't be being held by Sahasrahla.
Or just in any pendant dungeon, which is a very high probability. So, in fact, their race these two had last night had them stepping into every single pendant dungeon to acquire a progressive item to carry on. Bombo's tablet with only some arrows there.
And Parisian Player has hit a glitch.
Oh no. You should be able to fly out.
Yeah, there you go. Homie finally picking up his moon pearl. We'll see what medallion is required. It is Quake required for Misery Mire. And a lot of times, Misery Mire ends up having some really important items by it, but it doesn't look like it today. 2 red rupees. While Homie is heading out to Village of Outcasts. Single arrow!
Very
Everyone's
nice.
favorite. That is the arrow that shall pierce Ganon's heart.
And Fat Homie, oh nice, he's doing a little rupee farming here.
There is a, I don't know if it's a glitch, but the version of the randomizer that these guys are running on will allow you to just run in and get multiple 100 rupees each time. So clearly Homie is going to be making a play on Zora here very quickly.
Alright, so let's see. Yep, Persian Player's going to go ahead and take care of Desert Palace now. He still needs a light source to finish it, actually, so I wonder if he's just going to check the items in and then head out. Alright, map is on the lamp, so he doesn't need to get that out.
So Homie has already been through this dungeon and cleared as much as he could. Hook shot!
Oh boy! Wow! What a spot for the hook shot! Just sitting in the hut. Yeah. Alright, so...
And the flippers in Sea Hut!
Oh my god!
What a seed already.
Taking another look there at the dungeon map. Alright, so... where was the hammer again?
Hammer was with the old man on Death Mountain.
That's right. So Fat Homie, if he makes the play to go, oh, there's the red boomerang with Virgin, to go up to see the old man, he'll at least be able to knock out Swamp and a lot of other locations. Palace of Darkness, you can do some dark rooms, but yeah, just doing digging game now. And
missing a couple times with the shovel there.
I don't know if he remembers. He's not going to be able to finish this dungeon without a light source. So he's going to be U-turning here. Second.
Luckily, he has the mirror, so he doesn't have to take a full detour. But
I mean, I've done this so many times.
Oh,
Gone
who hasn't?
into the end of Desert Palace, forgetting you need some sort of light source to continue on. So
yeah, or going into pod and forgetting that you need the bow.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And right here, he's like, yeah.
Whoops.
It's okay. Nothing to see here.
Well, that should remind him then to go to Lake Hylia Island and pick up the lantern. Both players swam by it.
This is true. Now, PHatHome has the flippers and the mirror. You can't do that once he gets into the dark world again.
That's right. You can't fake flipper onto Lake Hylia Island.
Right.
Forgot about that.
You do need the flips for that. Oh, that was the same turret. Very nice.
All right. The way this seed is going, I'm just going to guess that Kana Samaria or Fire Rod is in the lunchbox here.
It's a good possibility. And it's good to check Tree Boy here.
Nope, there's the Fire Rod.
Oh!
It's just... Wow.
You were just a little bit early on that one, Ryu.
That's right. This, if this keeps going the way it is, our record for the tournament so far is 1 hour 19 minutes.
Oh, and there we go. We have the Blunic. So they will be able to have at least some protection, because we know they're not going to go pull any pedestals for the seed, which has the red one.
So the way this is going, it seems entirely possible that we could set a tournament record with this seed if it keeps going this way, as long as there's no troll, which we know there probably is.
Alright, so just gonna check the chest here. See what that provides for me.
Nice moves with the boomerang there.
Yeah, that was really nice.
I see some questions in the chat. The world record is actually 1 hour 4 minutes, set by ACMLM. Just this past week, I believe.
And that was the 4th bottle from the purple chest with a B in it.
Yeah.
All 4 bottles, 38 minutes in for PHatHome. It's pretty impressive. And just some edits.
So I have forgotten to count the items in Tower of Hera here for Parisian player.
Well, he's got his big key and the compass. All he has left is the map. Oh, he messed up the bomb jump there. And he's gonna fall 2 levels down, unfortunately. He gets the mirror out ready so he can reset the dungeon. So he's gonna have the key and 1 item from Moldorn, and then he's gonna either if he gets the compass, or I'm sorry, the map from Moldorn, he'll have to go to the basement and get some light source.
Homie making his way to Dark World Hype Cave. Well, he'll pick up his legal drugs and the Bombos medallion.
Yep, neither has made the play. Well, Persian did not make the play yet to go to the Witch, so we'll see when he decides to do that. PHatHome could do it now.
And there's the powder.
The powder in the big chest. Not bad. So there's the last remaining item. Moldorn is going to drop the key to go into the basement, so he will not need to go back to Hera, which is always very nice.
So Homie going to go pick up his lantern now, which will enable him to go back and finish Desert Palace.
Oh, and then must have missed it. Fat Homie had picked up Ether.
Yep. Parisian finishing his second dungeon here. Did Homie check Hobo earlier? Because
He did.
okay, he was standing on the spot to mirror there, and I was like,
Yeah, I believe both of them have checked
fake flippered.
Yep. So looks like he's actually going to make the play to go to Catfish and the Witch and possibly Zora all at the same time. This is really good routing. Good choices here. Let's wait and do it now.
Yeah, when you have the mushroom and 500 rupees, yeah, it's great. But sometimes you have to make the play and guess when you can't go to all what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 items here.
Yeah. The small shield and the windy cave.
Shield downgrade.
So yeah, this is ideally the best way you want to check this area is when you have access to Dark World, so you'll need the Moon Pearl, the Mirror, 500 rupees, and the Mushroom, and Flippers, so that way you can check Ledge Item in Zora's domain as well. So if you can hold off until you get all that is the best time to check all this stuff. There's less time consumption, and you can check the most items. So Catfish with just a piece of heart. And there's the Ice Rod on Death Mountain in the first cave there. Very nice.
Interestingly enough here, Parisian player does not have the hook shot, which means he can't go back to Dark World and do the hook shot cave. So he may have to come back. There's the magic cape on Zora's ledge. But when Homie runs up to Death Mountain, he's got the mitts, he's got the hook shot.
Yeah, he'll have the hook shot, which is going to give him access to that cave and check pretty much everything in there without using hover struts, of course, which is... oh, we have 300 rupee exchange from Zora. So yeah, in the quarter magic pickup there, that is really nice, very convenient. And yep, he's gonna pick up that cape just in case Bunker Cave is a thing. Might as well get it now because they have not checked it yet.
So given the divergence in routes here, it's really impossible at this moment to say whether or not one of these guys is really ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Both of them, you know, are pretty much doing the same thing right now. The only difference being Persian players finish an extra dungeon. But, yeah, there's definitely still in hunt mode of items.
So Fat Homie's going to be very, very happy when the old man hands over the hammer.
Mm-hmm. Very happy.
That will open up a whole bunch of different possibilities for him. He will be able to clear Swamp Palace, Thieves Town. I would surmise that Homie is going to loop around here, check all those Dark World items, and finish up with a trip to Tower of Hera.
Yeah, that's should be his next move as he makes his way to this area. And then Persian player's now going to do all of the Thieves Town area, Village of Outcasts, that Fat Homie just finished up as well.
So he'll be happy to find his hook shot.
Yeah, because that's in the hut down there, which is why Fat Homie had already gotten it.
And the flippers in Sea Hut, so... But
yeah, this village really paid off, man. This is a really good visit here.
And Homie also going to do Spike Cave. Both of our runners opting to do that, which may be kind of highly unusual.
It is a little bit. I don't blame them, though, just wanting to get that cave out of the way. They have you know, the 2 fairies, and he has the cape as well, so he can magic right here, yeah. Let me check it. Just gonna check Blacksmith. And he's gonna get his hook shot here.
Taking the froggy with him.
That homie is gonna try to make the trip back, looks like.
Oh, nice. Hook shot speed.
He's gonna end up spinning another fairy.
Nice. Oh, he makes it out.
Nice.
Homie living a charmed life in Spite Cave.
Very nice. Saves that extra fairy. And who knows, that may come in handy later if they don't find the bug net. And they need a fairy at the last second. That's really good.
So Parisian will also be able to check the Bat Cave as well. See if he does.
Pawns buffer. I like that, please. So I do believe, you know, this tablet does not have anything good. I think it's just rupees. Yeah.
Oh, and it looks like Parisian opting... Oh no, he is going to Bat Cave. Okay. Just pick up the chest first so we can flute away. And getting a little bit rejected by the Dark World portal there.
Mm-hmm. Family's gonna go ahead and check off Hera and Parisian player because he just picked up the powder. He's gonna go ahead and check the Bat Cave here. Let's see what he provides. Could be pretty good.
Peace.
Man.
Not quite as hype as it could have been.
Nope. But at least he got that out of the way as well, so don't have to worry about that later. Vibrated. Dang.
So, in Parisian player's route, he did not go to Old Stumpy in the Dark World, which means he just missed the Fire Rod.
That's right. Fire Rod was in a very interesting location. Alright, Fat Homie gets his powder there.
So will that routing error, if you want to call it an error, turn out to be decisive in this race? Because Fire Rod is definitely a required item.
Yeah. If he doesn't check it soon, hopefully he'll find the shovel, and that'll remind him to check Tree Blade.
Parisian may be making a play on Swamp Palace here, and it's 6 unique items.
Mm-hmm. So it also looked like 5 and 6 crystals were also in the Light World.
That is correct.
So yeah, we'll be able to check. Oh, Fat Homie falling off, going for hammer strats against Moldorm.
And Troll Dorm living up to his name.
Yeah, they'll have to keep Fat Fairy in the back of their head as well.
It's true. You win.
Oh no! Homie, no!
So my wife, Sleepy Frau, is playing this game for the first time ever. She never had a Super Nintendo, and when she saw some of our tournament players falling to Moldorm, she said, "Oh God, I feel better now. I thought I was terrible at this game." I said, "No, there's a reason we call him Troll Dorm."
Oh,
and third time, Troll Dorm knocks Homie down.
Oh, this is not good. Still get it here, but yeah. Moldorm is just a nuisance no matter what. Even for people who speedrun the game to casual, it's just a nuisance.
Absolutely, and yeah, it wouldn't be so bad if every time you fell, he didn't refill all of his health.
Yeah, exactly. So it starts slowly over. There he goes. He gets the kill. The extra hammers. That's right, homie. Don't. Alright, so he knocks out Hera as Parisian player is making his way through Swamp.
So we do not yet know what medallion is going to be required for our runners to get into Turtle Rock.
But we could see PHatHome check it now, which it does look like, yeah, he's going to go ahead and do that now. That's a good call.
It is a good call. He's got 2 of the 3, which probably means that it's going to be Quake.
Yeah. I mean, it's guaranteed to be Quake now.
That's right. No, it is Bombos.
Oh, Bombos. All right, very nice. So he's going to go ahead and open it up now. Parisian player has also found Bombos, so he will not have to worry about it. Now, if they did have to go into Mire for any reason, even though it is a pendant dungeon, I believe that one was...
That was Quake.
That was Quake. Okay, so that's possibly good if they don't find Quake. That meaning Mire will definitely not be required in any sense at all. So homie is going to check, yeah, these 2 chests down here, and then Hookshot Cave.
But hey, shoutouts to a possible vanilla Cane of Samaria.
That would be terrible.
It always would be. There is no better way to troll a rando runner than to put the item in its vanilla location.
Yeah. I definitely would not like to see it in its vanilla location. Anything like that, or like the Fire Rod in Skullwoods, I think, would be one of the other worst locations.
Because nobody ever wants to go into Skull Woods because it only has 2 items.
Yeah, that's looking for the Fire Rod. And there's Tempered in Hookshot Cave.
And single arrow.
Very nice. Yeah, so far, progressive swords. Let's see if they eventually find the Butter Sword here. Which wouldn't be the end of the world, since they both have silvers.
Yeah. Anybody that runs this game vanilla and MG, you only ever see whoops! Ask and you shall receive.
There it is, the Butter Sword! Wow.
You know, between you and me, as Diesel, tonight, it's kind of been, it's not been the commentator's curse, it's been the commentator's blessing.
Tomorrow's a Powerball. I think I'm going to go stop at the gas station tomorrow.
That's right. I got a 24-hour gas station by my house. I may be running out right after this. Of course, the chat is calling for us to be burned.
No.
We found a witch. May we burn her?
Alright, so homie is checking this side of Death Mountain, where he will find the ice rod. There he goes. So he has both rods now. He'll just need to find Cane of Samaria. And then he will actually be in go mode, as that is the last item PHatHome needs to complete this city.
The Parisian player conducting a full clear of Swamp Palace and not really finding much for his efforts there. Though it is required, so we can certainly understand why he went there. And Parisian, my gosh, making really quick work of Argus here. That was just about perfect. I don't know that you can get much better than that.
Yeah, it was a really good fight. So that is 3 crystals for Parisian player. And PHatHome is going to check the Meyer area.
And he's going to be very, very disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the vast majority of seeds seem to come down to either where is the Cane of Samaria or where is the Fire Rod.
It's very true, yeah. The Cane of Samaria has been the culprit of many last item gets in some of these races.
So Parisian player having to make his second trip up to Death Mountain so he can go through Hookshot Cave. Meanwhile, Homie, because he waited until later, was able to clear all of it at once. So that's, you know, one example of how a tiny little decision that you can't say was right or wrong, because even if you don't have the hookshot, you're looking at 7 chests in Death Mountain East in the Light World. So you can't say it was the wrong decision, but one decision making a pretty significant time difference.
Yeah.
Particularly when, you know, we're seeing races decided by 2-3 minutes or less. A long trek up to Death Mountain can be very, very significant.
It looks like Parisian players actually already checked this too here. It's just taking the exit down here. And he's going to go ahead and check the Turtle Rock medallion, where he will find out that he does have the medallion for her. This is very good. And
Homie here breaking out the Fire Rod with quarter magic on Moldorm. Or excuse me, Landmalus.
Oh, almost had the 2 cycle there. He will finish it with a 3 cycle. Still pretty good.
So it may come down. We may have already seen the critical decision here, in that Parisian player did not route around to Old Stumpy when he had the lunchbox, and therefore missed out on the Fire Rod.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what plays that he tries to make here now that he's in search of that item, when we know it's there. So it looks like PHatHome will go down to Swamp, and Parisian... see where he's gonna head. Maybe he will make the play down there to go to check True. So I don't think he's done digging game yet either, so he may plan that out in his routing there now.
It looks like he's gonna hit it up now. No, or is he going into Thieves Town?
No. Okay.
He's going into Thieves Town.
I mean, he can finish it. He has the hammer. He can do a full clear of Thieves. So it's not a bad play.
No, but not at all.
And he may eventually go ahead and make that trek down towards Treeway after Thebes. So, yeah, I mean, there's really nothing wrong with knocking this out, man.
Yeah. You know, some people have their different opinions. They'd say, if I can search Overworld, I will, before I dive into dungeons. And there are other people who say, if I've got all of the items to complete a dungeon, I'm doing it.
Exactly.
So I tend to fall into the latter category, but then again, I kind of stink, so.
I'm kind of a mixture of both. I'll do it based on what area I'm currently in. So if I find, like, say, the bow behind Salasrala, I'm going to go immediately do Eastern.
Sure.
Like that. So definitely depends. Like, I'll opt to do dungeons immediately, and then along the way, check Overworld.
Sure. I think Parisian got all 4 chests in the front side of Thieves Town, but I thought I didn't see one of them.
I think he did, yeah. He
Okay.
went through it pretty quickly, collecting.
Thieves Town is one of those dungeons that as soon as you get it, as soon as you get the items, you might as well do it, because particularly because the boss of Thieves Town will take the same number of hits with your sword, regardless of which sword you have.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Even if you have
the shovel, nice.
Even if you have fighter sword, it's still going to take 3 hits per head.
Exactly. So that's actually really good for Parisian to get the shovel right there. That's going to prompt him to go to the dig spot and hopefully remember that he did not check old Stumpy there. So that is actually really, really good.
We're still on the lookout for the ever-elusive Cane of Samaria. The biggest troll would definitely be Vanilla Cane of Samaria. In Misery Mire, a pendant dungeon, and not the green pendant dungeon, because if you're going to complete a pendant dungeon, you're probably going to pick the green pendant first.
You'd think so, yeah.
Although, now that I bring that up, we look and which dungeon here is the green pendant? Skull Woods only has 2 items. Even with the green pendant, that's only 3 items.
That's interesting. That would be terrible.
Yeah. As opposed to Palace of Darkness, which has 5.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what blind pun we get this time. Ah, the insects. The insects bug blind.
So who writes all those puns? Is it cross product?
I wouldn't doubt it if it was. I believe he probably is the provider of blind puns. And if so, then GG on that.
I did not see
the mirror shield. Wow.
Oh, it was it was the riot shield. Okay. So Homie just finishing the long left side of Swamp Palace, but when you're not in go mode, you can't afford to miss anything.
Yeah.
Now let's see if Parisian Player, come on Parisian Player, check old Stumpy.
And Vitor did the bone text. Cross product with the tavern guy puns.
Oh, okay. And the tavern guy puns are not actually in this version. The tournament has remained on an older version of the logic for the sake of fairness, but the newest version of the logic, if you walk into the tavern, the guys have some jokes to tell.
So Parisian gets his ether medallion there, and he is gonna make the play over here to do Tree Boy, and that is gonna give him his fire rod. He does know where the lamp is, so he can go collect that. So now both runners here now down to the last and final item needed to be in go mode, which is the Cane of Samaria.
So where is Samaria? We can sit here and speculate all day, but I'm sure, as we said before, when this seed first started, and we were starting to wonder, could this be put them on world record pace?
I mean, it could be this dig spot here. Oh no, just the single green rupee. Ideally, these guys want to find it in one of the dungeons they're eventually going to have to full clear anyways.
Looks like Parisian is heading to Skull Woods.
Skull Woods? Nope, yeah, I was going to say, it is a pendant, but
Oh, he's going to check Bumper Cave.
yeah, there you go. None of them have checked this area yet, so... Or, yeah. Just taking a little bit of a different path up there. And piece of art.
And PHatHome, you know, PHatHome may be heading. Yeah, he's going to do the. He's going to do double-chested fairy.
Yeah, they've already done the light roll dungeons, which had 5 and 6 in them. So, absolutely.
See if they. We have seen runners mess up with the bomb and accidentally leave it on a previous screen. There you go, homie. No, you've killed Aghanim, homie. You can do it the short way.
You can do it now. It's like he thought about it too. He's like, wait a minute, what? Oh, forget it. I'm just gonna go this way. I don't have to deal with all these menus. Menu to mirror, and I'm too lazy. I'm just gonna walk over.
This is the sure way to get there. And this could be very, very crucial here. There are 2 chests in here. Will one of these have it? There's bombs and no hype whatsoever at double-chested fairy.
Man, I was hoping to find something good there, but unfortunately not.
Looks like Parisian is heading over to check the catfish,
which we did see PHatHome already do.
Just a piece of heart, I believe, from the catfish, and the cape on Zora's ledge, but just a life lesson for Zora himself.
Oh, not the bees! Not the bees! Not the bees!
Not the bees! They're in my eyes! My eyes!
Poor PHatHome.
Oh, PHatHome finding the bug net. He could have used that a second ago.
Absolutely.
But they do find the bug catching net too late because they already have taken out Aghanim 1, but could still use Swaganim strats on Aghanim 2.
Parisian player getting that sweet 200 rupee transaction.
And interesting there, he did not pick up the cape.
He did see the cape was there. Maybe because he already checked the ledge and noticed that it was not a required item. That's why he probably skipped out on the cape. I mean, the cape does provide a few safety strats.
Yeah, particularly when you have quarter magic.
Yeah, especially when you have quarter magic, but I guess he doesn't need it.
As a Parisian saying, I'm just going to skip most of Desert Palace and just warp in the back door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody in the chat saying Red Cane at Spike Cave, calling it now. Too late. There was just a piece of heart at Spike Cave, and both of our runners have...
Yeah, they knocked that out early, which is really good.
Shoutouts to Sinak in the chat. Where in the world is Cane of Samaria?
so Fat Homie checking the bat location here.
Yeah, gonna be disappointed again.
Curious where their next move will be. None of them have done House of Darkness yet.
Parisian almost getting a 1 cycle on Landmalas.
Yeah, that's still a really good fight. Really solid.
So now where do our runners go from here? I would surmise Fat Homie's going to go ahead and clear out Thieves Town.
Yeah. Yep, he's right here. He might as well go ahead and do it.
So this just goes to show you, particularly with Randomizer, that a seed that looks like it's going to be darn near world record pace can slow down to a crawl just by being trolly with a single item. And that is what has happened here.
Yeah, fortunately it hasn't, you know, stopped them from doing dungeons and doing other stuff. It's not like they're at the mercy of this one item. At least not yet.
Right.
They still have tons of stuff to do and tons of chests to check to get it. When it gets down to like it being the last thing that you need to be in go mode, and you're at your wits end, that's when it's never fun. But thankfully, these guys. Oh no!
Oh, he left the bomb.
No.
He doesn't realize he left the bomb.
No.
Oh, that's right. That's that glitch.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a
That's
thing.
right. Yeah, that's the. Yeah, I can't remember how to do it. I have seen it before, but that is swag strats right there.
I had no idea that was a thing.
Yeah. I had only heard about that once. I'd never actually seen it.
Wow, dude, that is the thing. Did not know you could do that. I'll have to remember that.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure of the mechanics, but Parisian gonna go ahead and delve into Skull Woods. Again, it's the green pendant, so you can't really argue about this choice now because most runners will probably will wait, and if there's any way to avoid having to do a full clear of Ice Palace, they will, because using the bomb jump strats in Ice Palace in go mode. Oh, that's gotta be Kane!
There it is! By God!
By God, it's Kane! The
We
big
have
red Kane!
go mode for Parisian player, and well, actually, no, is he? No, yeah, he is. He's just got to get his lamp.
But if he can complete if he can complete dark rooms, he is in fact
Oh no,
go mode.
he's gonna go get it right now. Well, that or he'll just he'll do Ice Palace and then get it afterwards. But yeah, he is in go mode.
And like I said, you will see a quick clear of Ice Palace here, skipping about half the dungeon, more than half really when you consider the vanilla intended route.
Yeah. So if you were able to skip through a lot of Ice Palace here, and then he'll be well on his way. Good call and to go into Skull Woods there first before any of the other dungeons, pendant dungeons that he could think of. He goes into Skull Woods first and finds it right away. It's a very good call.
So Homie just finishing up Thieves Town. So since he's right next to Thieves Town, it's entirely possible that his next trek will be to Skull Woods. Let's see. Nope, he will not. That decision is gonna be costly for Fat Homie.
Yeah, it's unfortunately one of those type of gamble things where, you know, I'm in this area right now. Do I take the gamble in checking, you know, Skull Woods?
Where is he headed to?
I don't know. As he shovel dashes his way to the stream there. The dig spot.
He's gonna hit the dig spot. Okay. And is probably seriously upset about finding the single rupee there.
Alright, so it looks like he's gonna head over and do Palace of Darkness next. Where he's gonna be sad to find the King of Samaria not there, but actually no, I'm sorry, Palace of Darkness is a pendant.
Yep.
So let's see if he does go in there and makes a gamble on that.
Yeah, is he making the gamble I was mentioning earlier?
He's making the Palace of Darkness gamble. This is not good.
Yeah,
there's nothing in there.
He's gambling on the 5 items in Palace of Darkness.
That is unfortunate. Mostly because, you know, we know where it is. And to see him make this play, this is just going to waste a lot of time that there's nothing in here.
Meanwhile, Parisian player making short work of Cold Stare, and he will be headed off to Turtle Rock for his final dungeon.
Now, I do believe he knows that the lamp is right on that island. If he chooses to do this without the lamp. I mean, he's pretty good with the dark rooms, if I remember, so... Yeah, he's okay. He's on his way. He does not need that lamp.
Says, I don't need no stinking lamp.
I commend him for it. Definitely saves him some time from going to the island and getting the lamp, so he's on his way. Oh man, so we're gonna see Fat Homie do a full clear of pod here.
Yeah,
until he gets down to the last few items where hopefully it won't lead him to finish Homosword.
Yeah, hope for his sake, because this is clearly... The sad part is that it's real easy to judge and say, oh my god, why did he do that? But you know, as we've discussed before, this is not a bad play, numbers and probability-wise.
Right.
He doesn't have the knowledge that we have.
Had Persian player not found it in Skull Woods, we would be saying that this is the right play to make here.
Absolutely.
And it even still is in his sense, but yeah, he's just unfortunately not going to find anything in here. And needs to make his way to Skull Woods to be in go mode.
I mean, after this, Skull Woods has got to be his next play, because nobody goes into Misery Mire unless they have to.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully him knowing that he has the medallion to get into Mire won't persuade him to go to Mire. But yeah, I think you're right. No one wants to go in the mire unless they absolutely have to.
And it's one of those things you hate to see this kind of thing happen, but again, he really hasn't done anything wrong, because in Randomizer, the the very nature of it is that you have to make educated guesses. And
you have to make gambles.
Yeah. And this time, Parisians happened to be the right gamble. In another seed, Homies would have been the right gamble.
Right. And, oh, there's the King of Brian there. And not only did Parisian Player make the right gamble, it was the right first gamble. Like, his first guess at where else to go, he got it on the first shot. And that is just, you know, it's complete luck at that point.
He'll be able to make short work of Turtle Rock. Now, here's probably the most dangerous room in the game right here.
Yeah, this room is no fun. Ooh.
Chain Chomps hit like a truck. I believe only Ganon does as much damage as those Chain Chomps.
It does have powder. You can turn some ASI fairies into fairies here, so.
Which is why the powder is probably my favorite item.
Yeah, powder's really good.
But
I can't
it
even do without like the net or bottles. If I just have fairies or full powders, and you do. Oh, gotta get that arrow right in between the chest and the wall there to hit that switch. There you go.
There he goes. You know, I will say this. If you have the red boomerang, it is so much easier to hit that switch with the red boomerang than it is with arrows.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot easier. Vanilla Big Key.
Yeah, it causes a little bit of extra time here in Turtle Rock, but Parisian Player's got plenty of time.
Oh, yes.
You know, this is...
No, but yeah, he's doing well ahead.
They're normally at this point in a run, I would say, you know, hey, there's the decision in Ganon's Tower to come. There's the fact that it is not uncommon, even for tournament runners, to get hugs from Ganon and fall off the pedestal and have to do the Ganon fight again. But it's going to take a miracle for Homie to win this race. Which doesn't mean that it's impossible, but...
Right. I mean, he needs to go... He definitely needs to hit up Skullwoods immediately after this. What's even the possible whatsoever, but yeah, it's got a lot of catching up to do.
Plus, you know, quarter magic on Trinex. You know, seeing this makes me wish that they had actually kept the quarter magic in the base game, because it was taken out. Oh, Homie using bomb strats on Helmaser King. I haven't seen this since I was playing this game when it first came out in the early 90s.
Yeah, I've been doing bomb strats since I was a kid.
Yeah, well, because Link to the Past was one of the first games that Nintendo Power actually issued actually had an entire strategy guide. It was one of the first like guides dedicated to a single game, and they recommended that you use the bombs because it only takes 4 bombs to knock his mask off.
Yeah, and Parisian Player making it through the dark room lampless, very nice.
Well, now we know why he never bothered to go back to Lake Hylia Island.
Yeah, to get that lamp, because now he no longer needs it. That's really the only thing you need the lamp for in Turtle Rock are those dark rooms. But if you can navigate through them without it, then you are good to go.
And considering that the other 2 dungeons that have dark rooms, Palace of Darkness and Misery Mire, were both pendant dungeons, and Misery Mire, of course, having the hardest rooms to navigate. Dark.
Oh no, PHatHome666 gonna make the play to Ice Palace. Oh, I can't believe he's choosing to do Ice Palace before Skullwoods.
Yeah. Because Ice Palace with a full clear is more than double
my goodness.
Time.
You know, Parisian Player has done this game blindfolded. I was told this last night, but I do remember him being asked if he would rather do the siege without the lamp, and he said no. So I'm thinking he's feeling a little, I would say, competitive here to not go for the lamp when he obviously could have.
Well, I mean, and that probably shows how much respect he has for his opponent, Homie here, because if he's feeling that he needs to shave off every possible second, that shows how much respect he has for his opponent.
Absolutely.
So, chat, a little late on this, but I will say there are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower. Only one of them will have the big key. Which chest will it be?
I'm going 11.
I'm going 13. One of these days I'm going to be right. I'm going to keep guessing 13 until it's number 13. There's 2.
Okay. So checks the first 2 on the right, and he's going to hit to the left. As Fat Homie, unfortunately, is doing a full clear of Ice Palace here.
Like I said, you hate to see these kind of things happen. But again, I'm sure that what's going through Homie's mind now is, I'm going to clear the dungeons that are crystal dungeons before I head into pendant dungeons. It's
Right.
not an unsound strategy.
Right.
Unfortunately, in this game, it happens to be the wrong one.
Exactly.
So we're 7 chests down, if you include Bob, which of course you do. Right? Or Bob Torch. Got number 8 coming up. It's number 8.
In the fire bar room.
Yeah, that is the first time I believe I have ever seen the big key in that room.
Yeah, it's either the first or the second time I've seen it in that room. It's a very rare room to see that in. Big key in, so wow, not bad.
So Parisian Player on the gauntlet now.
And Parisian Player now seeing that he has silver arrows. I don't know if he finally realized it or he said, "All right, it's time to switch these on now." All right, as Parisian. Is heading through the gauntlet here. Fat Homie is going to take the long way around to check all the chests in his palace.
And that's another unfortunate thing, is that, as I've said before, clearing Ice Palace full clear is much, like, more than twice as long.
Yeah.
He's doing a pretty good job in the gauntlet here. The the thing about the gauntlet being that the initial placement of enemies in the gauntlet is always the same, but as soon as you enter the room, their movements are then completely RNG.
Right. Right, and Parisian using nice silver arrow shot there for the free cycle.
Now Parisian up in the second half of the gauntlet. Beautiful 4 Wizrobe room. Absolutely beautiful.
Really good Wizrobe man.
PHatHome continuing his full clear of Ice Palace, which, I mean, to be fair, he did a really good job full clearing it as quickly as he did.
He did. I mean, if you're going to do a full clear of it, he did it pretty quickly, so it's really good. And then you gotta think he's going to make the play to Skullwoods after this, hopefully.
You gotta hope he does.
Yeah. So he's already knocked out Palace of Darkness. I just really hope he doesn't head into Mire. Really bad.
Yeah, I cannot believe that, like I said before, that any runner would voluntarily go into Mire unless they absolutely had to.
Exactly. And a really good Cold Stare fight. Using the Butter Sword there, you can put him in the corner and take him out really quick.
Yeah, that was about as perfect as you can get it.
Yep. And let's see what happens to Validation Chests. Disregarded.
Says, I don't need no stinking validation chest either. I don't need no stinking cape. I don't need no stinking validation chest.
And I definitely don't need no lamp, so we're good to go. Yeah, an hour 31 minutes on the mark here, heading into Aga 2. Definitely saving some time here.
And it looks like Homie is indeed heading into Skullwoods now.
There we go. So he's going to be in go mode as soon as he gets his Cane of Samaria. Right. Yeah, he definitely made the right call here by not going to Mire and not getting inside.
Yeah, so he's going to be extraordinarily happy here when he finally pulls the red cane here, the big red cane. I'll say it again. That's gotta be Kane.
And there we go, go mode for PHatHome.
Meanwhile, Parisian is on Ganon. He's gonna finish with a very respectable time. I would surmise sub 135.
Yeah, with Butter Sword and Silver Arrows, I would definitely see that as well.
So, you know, if the Cane of Samaria hadn't been so trolly in this one, I mean, this would have been probably a sub 120.
Oh yeah, easily. Ooh, a nice double there.
Double prior to hitting the torch glitch.
Wow.
That's just impressive.
And two doubles.
A double, my gosh.
The one cycle on Ganon. Really good fight. GG for Parisian. With an official SRL time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 14 seconds.
Hell of a time. Just amazing execution. And I know I sound like a broken record, but I have to make sure that everyone watching understands. Homie has absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, he played this well, and he made good decisions.
Absolutely.
It's just, there is always a little bit of luck involved, and this time, clearly, the decisions and the luck were on Parisian's side. I do not say that to take anything away from Parisian Player, because he won, he is advancing to the next round, and his execution was beautiful.
Yeah, his execution was really, really good. And not only that, but he had to win last night in order to have this match today. So he had to win 2 in a row to advance, continue onwards. So
Right.
yeah, he definitely fought hard, and it's a well-deserved win.
Parisian player, félicitations pour votre victoire.
Merci beaucoup.
GG.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty nice seed, to be honest. Like, items were falling quite decently.
Yeah, and the key decision that you made, Parisian player, was when you decided to head into Skull Woods. Do you remember what was going through your mind when you finally made that decision to head into Skull Woods for the Cane of Samaria?
Yeah, the reason was I was willing to I could finish Skullwood, so it was a green pendant, and plus it was on the way to the pedestal. So I wanted to clear that section at that moment, and because I didn't want to do Ice Palace, I don't like to do Ice Palace entirely, so I prefer to jump into Skullwoods first.
And that was something I was mentioning to my co-commentator S Diesel over here, is that nobody wants to do a full clear of Ice Palace unless they absolutely have to, right?
Yeah. Like if Samaria was in Ice Palace, then yeah, I was screwed. But you have to make these choices, and as I said, the pendant and the pedestal made me decide to go there.
And
yeah.
your execution in Ice Palace, particularly with the Cold Stare fight, was impeccable. And getting a double on Ganon, I mean, you can't ask for much better than that.
Yeah, Ice Palace, you have a couple of mistakes. Like the fact that I don't have beams to the conveyor room is bad. My bomb jump is pretty slow, so I have to take the damage. And Cold Stare, I don't get the optimal fire rod shots at the beginning. And then I think I must use my golden sword rather than my fire rod shots. I think it's quicker. But yeah, it was not the execution was like good, but to my level of speedrunning, it's not excellent at all.
Well, it was certainly good enough for a victory.
Yeah, also something that's too bad. I hesitated after Thieves Town between going to the farming that I did, like so watching what was on the ledge, then going to the graveyard and going to the Zora's domain, and which gave me absolutely nothing. And going right away into Skullwoods because Skullwoods is very near to where I was. But I was like, yeah, they have many objects on that route. So yeah, it took me, I hesitated a bit and took the wrong decision there.
Homie right now is cleaning up Turtle Rock. He's about to go into the last third of the dungeon. So, I mean, there's a significant time difference here. And it all really comes down to decision making. And
oh, so yeah, I must know this as well. So you did most of the randomizer here with silver arrows, but not using them.
Yeah, I forgot, but I used it, I think, only in Eastern. I think only in Eastern I had to use the arrows, and I forgot about it.
Okay, so that's what.
Yeah.
All right, I didn't know if this was like a calculated move here to like, I don't want to use these silvers. They cause too much lag. I'll just use regular arrows. But
it was on my way to Turtle Rock. Like you think about a lot of stuff when you're already in go mode, and I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be a silverless get and fight. I'm like, no, I had silverless right at the silvers right at the beginning of the game. So that's why I say, oh, I forgot to change it in Eastern.
Yeah, it's something really easy to forget about because you picked it up so early in Thieves' Basement. So yeah, I could definitely see it.
All right, so the really important question here, Parisian player, is we're getting to that point right now. How many bonks do you think you had?
More than my last race, unfortunately. It was not excellent. So I didn't see yet, but I wouldn't be surprised to be around 30. Usually I'm not that bad because playing double speed, I know how to cancel dash a bit early. But I found like there was some bad bonks during my run.
Again,
Also,
man,
something at the early game, there were some mistakes I didn't like. Forgetting that I didn't have fire sources for the end of Desert Palace.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah,
I missed a bomb jump and Hera. That's very bad.
Fell down 2 levels in the bomb jump room.
And there was a third mistake I didn't like. Oh, I died somewhere. Where did I die? I died on my way to the tablet.
Yeah, and he had to restart back at the old one. So, yeah. But I mean, other than that, still really good. Really good
I got my number on bonks. Okay, it's weird, but I guess it's good. But people are gonna see it later. But it's way better than I thought. Oh, the menu time is not bad at all.
21. Oh.
Yeah, only 21 bonks. That's pretty good, man.
said
And menu
22.
time and 303 menu time. And sometimes I check my menu just because I don't trust myself into knowing if I got the map and the compass. So I prefer to check pressing the menu every time.
Your item menu time and total lag time not bad at all.
I didn't see lag time. I'm not sure if it's that important, the lag time, because I know it's about diagonals mostly, but depends. Sometimes diagonal, despite the lag, is probably not that bad, like in Zora's Domain, or like I know for a Hellmaster King fight, okay, diagonals are terrible, or when you pull a tree, you have too many things on the layout, so then okay, you should not press diagonal, you should press cardinal directions. But in other situations, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
also,
menu time was only like.
Also my routing in Death Mountain again was not very impressive. I had to come back twice to Death Mountain Dark World. I was a bit greedy there, but
That's a good place to be greedy, considering the number of chests that are in.
Well, I had only 2. Then I didn't have the hook shot, so I had to leave and come back later.
Yeah, that was something that that I was concerned about. That because for the longest time, the two of you were extremely close, and I was wondering if because Homie didn't go to Death Mountain at all until he had the hook shot and the Titan's mitts. So I was wondering if that decision, because you had to make 2 trips, I was wondering if that decision was going to be determinative, but obviously it turned out not to be the case.
Sorry, which one? I was reading my chat, so I didn't catch up all you said. What?
That's okay.
Where did I come back twice?
Death Mountain, because the first time you went there, you didn't have the hook shot.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, no, that was maybe overestimating my luck.
But at the end of the day, it did not make a difference because you will end up having won this race by a significant margin that really comes down to decision making and execution.
Yeah, something also I'm not very happy is my dark room in Turtle Rock. I hesitated. Normally when I do that dark room, I use the same route as in like when you don't have when you have the lantern, so I use the same path, and for some reason I lost a little bit. I got lost a little bit, and I hesitated between doing also my blindfolded strat, which is way easier, and in the end I didn't go for it. And I think considering what I've done in it, I should have gone for my blindfolded strat, which is basically, for those wondering, like when after you hit the switch, you go on the left, you keep pressing left, and when you're like close to the end, you press down. It's 40 bits if you're just counting, but with visual cues, when you're going down at the end, then okay, that's the moment you press down again.
And Parisian, Was it the fact that Turtle Rock was the only required dungeon with dark rooms? Is that the reason you skipped the lantern, or would you have skipped it regardless?
The big question would have been if Meyer was required or not.
Yeah.
Because no, it's weird because normally I can do it, but like the only race I did, I missed it. So I died in it. So that didn't give me the will to retry it. Maybe I would have retried it, but taking fairies before in Meyer, because my blindfolded strat here requires of losing a fairy.
Okay.
I think there could be a strat also using the cape. I'm pretty sure using the cape or kind of Berna could be a great strat, but I didn't have that. So if for that maybe, but for Path of Darkness, I have absolutely no trouble with the dark room. So with Ether, it would have been better. At some point, I considered entering Path of Darkness, but finally decided to no, because I double-checked it was a pendant. And at that moment, I didn't have Ether, and the torture room without Ether is quite difficult. So yeah. Probably I wouldn't have taken it anyway, but that would have been a bit more difficult. At some point, I thought about taking a lantern because I still was not finding the fire rod, and I need to. I know the fire rod was somewhere because Torture Rock was required, so I know it was.
You also bypassed the cane on Zora's level. Was that just because you knew you didn't need it?
The cape?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I already checked the ledge, so
right.
I saw I didn't need it, so I didn't go for it. And so, if like I was, maybe I want to finish Desert just to put it out of my mind, and maybe Landmole has had some arcane, like, or Fire Rod, why not, you know? And so I was like, maybe then I would need to get a lantern to finish Desert.
Oh no, homie getting trolled in the land.
It's okay, he's got it. He's got it. He's just gonna
Ah.
That was awesome.
So homie's in the last little bit of the gauntlet in Ganon's Tower right now. He's in the first torch room. So again, this is going to be close timing-wise, and he made it. Oh. It should be pretty smooth sailing for homie here on out. He still has a fairy, and I believe he still has a blue potion. So there's no worry whatsoever for him at this moment.
Also, I was quite happy to find the boots pretty early because two of my runs during the tournament, I made terrible decisions that put me on another route than the boots route, and probably both of them cost me the race. Or not, it was last run that almost cost me that race.
Yeah.
And my run against Newbie in the group phase, I lost probably because of that.
Yeah, luckily, as Diesel pointed out when we were talking earlier, is that, you know, hey, this is an Aghanim required seed with the oh god, what is homie was almost bombed, but then powdered the validation chest there. But
yeah, that was good for me also that Aghanim was required, because the more dungeons I know are required, the best it is for me, because I can rely on execution.
Yeah. And that's, yeah, like I said earlier, with Moon Pearl being tree, it does give you the heads up that, hey, you're going to find boots pretty soon here, so.
And also something I was really happy about, that my first run against PHatHome, the Lumberjack place was a fetch quest, I think it was. Like mushroom or something.
I hate to interrupt, but homie is using a bug catching net on Aghanim too, and using just some Swaghanim strats right now. This is This is so much fun to watch.
Time for swagging them, exactly.
And so I'm always worried when it's a fetch quest because, like, do I have to go for it or not? And I went and it was nothing, and PHatHome didn't go for it, and he won by more than that, but still, it was...
Yeah, it really, honestly, it came down to both of you needing the Cane of Samaria. You're both pretty neck and neck. You made the play to go to Skullwoods. PHatHome made the play to go to Palace of Darkness, and that was essentially the deciding factor in this race.
Well, what's the timer right now?
Time is... PHatHome is going into Ganon right now at 151, and you are at a 154.
So I mean, even if it was not for that, I saw what he finished more than me, so Palace of Darkness and Ice Palace entirely.
Yeah.
Probably if I had done that 2 dungeons in addition, I would still have been ahead.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it doesn't take 14 minutes to do both of those dungeons.
Yeah, so it came down to a few deciding factors like that, but for the most part, it was a pretty neck and neck race up until then.
Yeah, up until that point, and not only did Homie decide to do a full clear of Palace of Darkness, he then decided to do a full clear of Ice Palace before going into Skull Woods.
Yeah, the full clear of Ice Palace also padded on some extra time there. So.
Homie right now, though, is in about to enter Stage 3 of Ganon, so it should be done here in just a minute. But Parisian player, you advance on to the next round. Your opponent in the next round is Christos Owen. What are your thoughts on your competition in the next round?
Well, I was in the wrong quarter bracket for sure. Like, this quarter bracket is terrible, and I start with one of the favorites of the tournament. So yeah, if I take him a race, I would be already extremely happy. It's pretty unlikely. The thing is, as I said, I would have preferred to play someone like very good at randomizer, but not a real speedrunner, because at least I would have got a chance about execution. Like here, I cannot expect to make a run about execution because he's better than me, and I cannot hope like some trolley seed because his routing is better than mine. So yeah.
So PHatHome has finished up. He has finished with an official speedrun live time of 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 57 seconds. See if he is willing to come in for an interview. But while we wait on that, I'd like to remind everybody first, follow these runners, PHatHome666 and Parisian Player. They have provided you with some absolutely outstanding play tonight, and the match was so much closer than the final times indicated. So give them a follow. They deserve your attention. I'd like to remind everybody as well that tomorrow here on Speed Gaming, beginning at 2 o'clock p.m., we will have the Ratchet & Clank 2 tournament finals going on all day. And then at 8 p.m. tomorrow night, we will continue with the Banjo-Kazooie tournament. But the Legend of Zelda Link to the Past 2017 tournament continues tomorrow on Speed Gaming 2 at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, with Amazing Ampharos versus AJ Neb 174 in their Game 2. And if necessary, Game 3 will continue as a doubleheader after that. So there's plenty more Speed Gaming action and Link to the Past randomizer tournament action coming your way. We have PHatHome in the waiting room. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. PHatHome666, congratulations. Although you were not successful tonight, it just came down to decision making and execution. And as S. Diesel and I said while we were watching this race, we could not fault you for the decisions you made. You did a fantastic job. What are your thoughts on how that race went?
I felt it was going all right, despite my routing was kind of funky. But once I found the cane in Skullwoods, I knew it was over. Like there's no way he would have missed that.
Yeah. The critical decisions there being your decision to go into Palace of Darkness and full clear it, and then going into Ice Palace for a full clear. Can you walk us through your thought process on why you decided to do that?
It pretty much came down to items in pod, because more likely than not, it'll just be lying around somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But after that, I was just like, I need to get Ice Palace out of the way. And it could be in there, so might as well full clear it.
Yeah, and your opponent, Parisian Player, went straight into Skull Woods, got the Cane of Samaria, and then was able to do the go mode strats on Ice Palace, and that was pretty much the difference, because as Diesel and I were saying, for most of the tournament, for most of the race, it was nearly impossible to tell which one of you two was ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So, still a fantastic race. Go ahead,
Came down to that Cane of Samaria that ever.
It's always the cane, dude.
It's always the cane. I don't get it, man. Why does the cane always have to be the last item that holds everybody behind? It's become a trend.
I was hoping Pyramid Fairy would have it, because 5 and 6 were in Light World.
Yeah.
Ice
Having
Control.
that easy access to Fat Fairy there, it would have been nice if it was in there.
No luck.
Yeah, I was holding my breath when you went into Fat Fairy, because I was thinking to myself, man, this could be the deciding factor here, and it turned out to be, what, 3 bombs and 20 rupees?
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a fantastic Game 3 between 2 absolutely exceptional runners of Link to the Past Randomizer. I may sound like a broken record, but follow these guys here on Twitch. They deserve your eyeballs and your follows. Follow Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2. Before we sign off, Parisian Player, again, félicitations.
Merci beaucoup.
And Parisian Player and Fat Homie as the runners. Before we sign off, I'll give you guys the last words. Anything else you want to say to our adoring public?
Well, I wanted to thank Fat Homie for all the struggle he gave me, because especially after round 1, I thought it would have been easier because of the records he had on the group phase.
Yeah.
And like this one, probably despite the routing, was able to win. But the previous race yesterday, it was way closer. If your decisions were slightly different, like it could have won this. So really happy to reach round 2.
Yeah, you're gonna have your hands full. You really are. But good luck, dude.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your attention this evening. Another fantastic race in the 2017 Legend of Zelda Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament. I am Phantom Ryu. S. Diesel, go ahead and sign us off for the evening.
Thanks everybody for watching. GG to the runners. Viewers, thank you for watching the race, and we will see you guys tomorrow. And Ryu, thank you for help on commentary, man.
Absolutely. Been an absolute pleasure.
And everyone have a good night.
Thanks.
Bonsoir, au revoir.
Have a good night, everyone.